Hello and welcome to GLIT 155 International Crime Fiction. You're watching the course navigation video. My name is Dr. Jonina Anderson Lopez. Sometimes you'll hear me in the video lectures. Other times you'll see and hear the creator of the course, Dr. Linwood Rumney. When you have a question about the course, please review my contact information and reach out to me, Dr. Jonina Anderson Lopez. The course is only 8 weeks long, so it's broken up into 8 modules. All 8 modules will be published at once. However, I caution you against skipping around to complete, say, a week 4 assignment or a week 8 assignment, and then going back to week 1. Though you can definitely work ahead to some extent, there are components of some weekly assignments that require you to respond to your peers in the forums for that week. Before you dive into any of the weekly modules, begin with the Start Here module. It details things like the syllabus and student resources that might be available to you. The purpose of this course, International Crime Fiction, is to teach you, the student, communication skills, critical creative thinking skills, and social and global perspectives. All of this is completed using the backdrop of crime fiction stories with an international approach. Similar to other writing courses, you're going to read and write a lot. And most weekly assignments are going to occur via discussion forums, which is worth 36% of your total grade. There are 2 major projects during this 8-week term. The first is a multimodal presentation. So what is multimodal? It's really just a fancy term for visuals and text that work together to explain a concept or a series of concepts. Your presentation, it's worth 25% of your total grade, and it should underscore aspects of a crime fiction story you choose from a pre-selected list. On this list, which you can find in the course handouts section, I believe, you'll sign up for a certain story. Whichever story you decide on will also then decide which week you complete the presentation. We'll talk more about the multimodal presentation in other modules and other video lectures. The second major project of the semester is a final paper that's worth 25% of your total grade. This paper will compare and contrast 2 crime fiction stories you choose from a pre-selected list, with one of those stories being the one that you already presented about. There are no required textbooks for the class per se. Many of the readings for the discussion forums are available as PDFs or links. However, for the 2 major projects we just reviewed, you will need to either purchase or check out a traditional novel to complete the class successfully. From that list I mentioned earlier, you will see there are books, television series, podcasts, or documentaries to choose from. You have to pick 2 stories from the list, and any type of story is fine with some caveats, but we'll get to that. You don't like podcasts? That's okay. You can pick a television series instead. You don't like British crime? Pick a South African story instead. The permutation of your 2 stories is really up to you, up to a certain point. The only things you have to worry about when picking 2 stories is what you see on the screen. And you have to pick 2 stories to complete the 2 major projects. Concerning other homework assignments, there's often 3 or 4 weekly assignments. Sometimes there may be more. I've tried to pare down the assignments to the bare minimum needed to understand and complete the learning outcomes for the course. This means most modules are just going to include 2 discussion posts and 1 quiz. These minor assignments are usually due on Saturdays. Follow-up forum post discussion comments are due the following Tuesday. Major assignments are usually due on Sundays. Um, if you're ever cursing the amount of work that you have to complete in one week, remember it's you that signed up for this online, fast-paced course. I'm just the boat captain assigning these exercises that we could have completed together in a face-to-face or 16-week modality. Each module or week will have a checklist. You don't have to complete the entire checklist of stuff, but if you skip around, you might miss important details or readings that enable better success for that week and for the course. Each module or week features several lecture materials that offer background on the discussion forum topics and the readings. Sometimes there's video lectures to supplement the text-based lecture materials, and these videos often don't exceed 15, 20-ish minutes. This 8-week course is relayed really in 2 phases. Initially, you're wading into the waters of crime fiction stories. You're expected to present on one of the longer stories that you choose from the pre-selected list. Later, during the last half of the class, you're more experienced with crime fiction conventions, and you're ready to write a compare and contrast paper about 2 major stories you chose from the pre-selected list. Once more, navigating Brightspace, it can seem overwhelming. However, if you navigate the course using the content button, you'll be in a much better position throughout the semester because it helps pace you throughout the module readings and assignments. Moving on from navigation a little bit, we're going to talk about a few concepts like personal responsibility, the syllabus, and templates. We'll start with personal responsibility. You are in college now, or you have been for a while. It's part of your job to know when assignments are due. To that end, please avoid emailing or texting me asking me about assignment due dates. You can always check this via the modules or the Brightspace calendar. Miscommunication is never to blame concerning missing or late work, especially when the online due dates are always the default. Life happens, I get it. Even still, there is a no late policy for major assignments such as the multimodal presentation or the final paper. If you feel there is an issue, please reach out to me beforehand and we can discuss ways to overcome those issues and to keep you on track. The syllabus is a document that you should review. It's our contract of sorts for the class, and even if you don't read any of it, you're still beholden to the policies laid out in there. That means if you don't read about the late policy or the tech policy, those still apply to you. What's great about the syllabus is that you can find my phone number and my email there. Please text me at appropriate hours of the day using a free app called WhatsApp. Texting is the fastest way to communicate with me. The syllabus also reviews many of the policies you can see on the screen, plus a whole lot more. The next thing we're going to discuss is templates and how you can apply them to this class and even to other classes. A template consists of the writing expectations for a document. It helps you align what you're thinking of writing with what's expected from the audience or the receiver. Oftentimes, writing requires you to express yourself while tailoring the message to appeal to others. Effective writers do more than just write sentences. They map their sentences in an organized way to appeal to the audience. Writing is a series of moves. Seasoned writers seem to complete these moves easily, but it's only because they memorized the templates and they know how to adjust them as they see fit. For newer and seasoned writers, templates can act as an instructional tool. Templates can help you be more creative, not less. For example, Shakespeare didn't invent the idea of sonnets, but he wrote them well. Songwriters rely on verse, chorus, verse patterns. Screenwriters adhere to formatting conventions to create scripts. Sports players, they have to learn the rules before they can participate successfully. Ultimately, creativity and originality lie not in the avoidance of established forms, but in the imaginative use of them. That's one of my favorite quotes from Graff and Birkenstein's book, They Say, I Say. Templates will be provided for a lot of assignments, and they can take different forms. So for some assignments, you'll see parts of the assignment guidelines that you can follow one step or one part at a time. And for others, like the middle example on the screen, you'll see a student sample, which kind of sets the tone for a template you can follow without copying any of the wording or images. Other assignments, like the right-hand image on the screen, will feature an outline of sorts to follow, or you could even call it a template. And it helps you create the draft of your document. For most assignments, the guidelines will feature a rubric link, and the rubric can help you self-edit your work before submission. It also helps you understand expectations for the assignment. Essentially, templates show you what came before and they help you start writing. This establishes confidence for writers who may not have encountered a particular format before, and it lends those seasoned writers validation that they've been following what's expected for certain writing conventions. In the world of academic writing, templates will not always be provided. However, as you're still learning the expectations of this type of writing, I will provide templates when I can to ensure confidence and manipulation of these set forms for you, the writer. I hope that you found this course navigation video helpful. Until next time.